Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dumb. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. U.P.K undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he give them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody trying to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Backstage.
These motherfuckers got scraps too. Don't get caught lacking. Y'all seen these old cowboy movies? You go to the bar, nigga, you about to get tried. You go out in the bar, you got that drinking with your brothers and that shit, then you about to get tried out here. But don't be caught lacking. Don't kill your brother off some bullshit, man. Don't hurt your people, man. This is for protection only, man. I got family out this bitch, man. I got brothers out this bitch. I gotta protect some.
Thank you, man. Oh, come on up here, man. Bring the Q on in. Hey, slow, y'all smell it. Get the Q a chair, man. Hey, you know what? Y'all smell about some nice. Oh, you got to start calling y'all foundational sisters. You know what I'm saying? Sisters that brought us through the fight. You know what I mean? Tasline probably still got the hook she dragged me out the gutter with. I kept her down the basement. That nigga get big, we can show him the hook. Good to see you, sis. Good to see y'all. Yo, man, do you know, check this out, fam. I couldn't believe it. I was going over the story, right? For tonight. And I couldn't believe how, do you know this entire day, this entire dedication was born off of one egotistical Edomite bastard who just wanted more glory. Had nothing to do with nothing. But yet it was everything for us because we lost our children, our families, our customs, our temple, our land, all because one bastard just wanted to be more glorified. And brother, that is a theme that's among us that got to get stopped. And it's going to get stopped tonight. Y'all please have a seat. Shalom to everybody at home. Can they see me at home? Yes, sir. Shalom to everybody at home. So everybody understands, tonight is not a high holy night. Tonight is not a night that we go over the law with. Tonight is a dedication. It's the dedication to the second temple, somewhere in the neighborhood of around 168 BC, like 168 years before Christ came. We had to battle to get our nation back. Somebody, if I could, type C, yeah, somebody hook me up with a type C with some power to what, Q. You understand? So we don't do the ceremony. We don't do the 7 scriptures, right? We don't do, we don't go all into the law because it's basically a dedication. It's why I like it, because I get to talk longer. Which has always been my problem. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the story. We're going to get into it. We're going to break down the story and everything. But I got to show you how thoughtless this beast was for himself over us. And I want you to, as you take this in, I pray that you recognize that without cleaving on to the Lord, without saying, I'm gonna stick to the Most High, that what you do is you open up your whole nation, your family, your kids, your land, you open it all up to the whims of some vain piece of garbage. Because that's what this cat is. Okay? Now here's the set. 168 BC, and I'm gonna have a seat in a second. We get a cup of water, some ice, the usual. All right. Anybody else need anything? Anybody too hot, too warm? Big shout out to all the brothers that do the Sabbath service that kept us tight with the candles and everything. Big shout out. We got other camps on, do we, Marah?
They coming back on.
Okay, Most High in Christ. When they come back on, we'll thank them for joining us. Thank everybody else for joining us. And these things we got to hold on to. Make it your business to fight to get up in here to do these things, man. Because the things that they did to us for nothing is just utter ridiculous. So I'm going to start off with proof that this was true. And the way we get some proof of that is we get another scholar who was Josephus. Y'all heard of him. In Josephus, somebody get me Josephus, Antiquities 12. 12th chapter, maybe, or the 12th Antiquities, 7th chapter, I think is what I'm looking for, right, Q? And we'll read a little bit about that, and then we'll go into the story of this rat bastard, excuse my French, that destroyed our lives just because he had power to do it. And I say that too now because we got Donald Trump, and we've had others who, for their own egotistical feelings, decided to destroy us, decided to harm us. And this is why we're the way we are. You're going to celebrate Christmas when we done went through these things every time they felt joyous and glad. When they felt joyous and glad, they slaughtered the North American Indians and called it Thanksgiving. Went and slaughtered them all up in the North. When they felt good, they hung us all throughout the South. Their celebrations are our death. The Babylonian Empire killed you if you didn't go worship the tree of Nimrod. Why? Because his mother, that vain, evil, disgusting Syrian piece of garbage, required it. And if you didn't do it, she'd send an army down there to kill you and your family. Very much like Jezebel, that another rotten Syrian. They bombed and shut down the leadership of Syria, that whole country. Good for them. I'm glad it fell. Because what we're about to read is these rotten-ass Edomites and what they did to us. So let me set the stage. 168 BC, all right? Alexander the Greek had already taken over what we know today as Syria. Syria been ruled many times by many people. Babylonians, Assyrians, all of that. This time, they're being ruled by the Edomites under the Greeks. These Greeks are at war with another set of Edomites coming in called the Romans, who weren't fully established, but were somewhat established. Those Romans started taking over. From there, y'all let me know if I got it back right. Did I get it back right? No, still a wreck? Like they were fighting the Romans. And so they couldn't beat the Romans. So what did they do? They decided to come down and just destroy Egypt. And once they got Egypt, they got good to them. They decided to come into the land of the Lord. That's why we have to be strong, especially in these times. The Lord is getting ready to wipe all these kingdoms out. I know y'all hear me say it all the time because I know so much that is going to happen. He doesn't have enough time to rule the world anymore. His time is up. It's your time now. All right, where we going, Q? You got the Apocrypha? I mean, the Josephus? Yes, sir. Y'all may not have this, but we can read along with Q, all right? Go ahead, Q. Antiquities. 12. And try chapter 7. Anybody know it? Call it out. Where you got it? Where you at?
12:7.
Go ahead. Read it. Nice and loud.
When Apollos, the general of the Sumerian forces heard this, he took his army and made haste to go against Jews.
To go against what? You got to read fast too, and go up above that.
To go against Jews.
Go ahead.
Who met him and joined battle with him and beat him and slew many of his men. And among them, Apollos himself, their general, who swore began that which he happened. He happened this way. He seized upon and kept for himself. But he wounded more than he slew, and took a great deal of prey from the enemy's camp, and went his way. But when Sarah, who was general of the army of
Seleucus. You're right.
Heard that many had joined themselves to Judas, and that had led them about him an army sufficient for fighting and for making war. He determined to make an expedition against him, and stated and became him to endeavor to punish those that transgress the king's injunctions.
So he went out. Now we'll read it in the Maccabees as well. But what this cat did is, since he lost that war when they were trying to invade our country, he thought to himself, I'm gonna get a name for myself. Let me go head back, get a bigger army, and I'll come down and fight against Judas and them. And these brothers were some courageous brothers. They were some courageous Levites. They cared about the Most High and cared about the truth. Like, that's why we prophets are sent out to you, so you can care about the great things that went on in the last 4,000 years for you and your people, so you can remember these things. You got it for me, Kazak?
I can get it, sir.
Okay, get it for me. Go ahead, Warrior. You got it.
Come, sir. He then got together an army as large as he was able.
He got as big an army as he could. And this is important because this is an independent story. We got the Maccabees story in case they try to say, well, the Maccabees story, how we know that's true, because it's not in the scriptures. Well, we're reading it out of the Josephus right now. Go ahead.
God. And joined it to the renegade and the wicked Jews, and came against Jews. He then came as far as Betharon, a village in Judea, and there pitched his camp, upon which Judas met him. And when he intended to give him battle, he saw that his soldiers were backward to fight.
Now, here's the thing. You telling me we should celebrate Christmas when over this war is how they were able to put Christmas back in effect. Remember, Christmas is a Babylonian holiday. Because they went to war against us, they was able to put Christmas back in effect until the Maccabees brothers stood up against it and destroyed it. And it stayed that way all the way until the Romans overthrew us in 70 AD. Then they came back and set themselves up again and had us worshiping Christmas, man. I mean, damn near, you might as well drink blood. You might as well drink blood than celebrate Christmas, man. And we should come together because the vibe on us be like you missing your family. You're going to have to forge a brand new righteous family. And that righteous family has to be up in the truth, man. Has to be up in the truth. And you got to fight and resist that demonic holiday. You want the Most High to look on us, all of us, and forgive us of our sins and start us anew. Make us brand new men and women. And we start with dumping these high holy days. All right. God. Can you get them in? Beautiful. Go ahead, read.
Because their number was small and because they wanted food, but they were fasting, he encouraged them and said to them that victory and conquest of enemies are not derived from the multitude in armies, but in the exercise of piety towards God.
Like, brother, this was a bad dude. You got to read this again. You got to understand, man, what happened here that was so monumental before the Lord that the children of Israel dedicated themselves to it year after year after year. This is supposed to add something to you that makes you stand to get the work of the Most High done. Read that again, what he said to them soldiers. Because them soldiers saw that army. They saw what was happening, Q. And they knew they was in a jam.
Yes, sir.
But the Maccabean brother was courageous to stand up and do what it took to get these brothers to fight for this type of freedom. And they fought for it and won eventually. Go ahead. Read it one more time. Wait a minute. Read it one more time. I'm going to let him get it. All right? You got the very scripture verse?
Yeah.
So what? Go ahead.
He saw that his soldiers were backward to fight.
Right.
Because their number was small.
They were small, so they were backwards to fight. They were scared, which is normal. Go ahead.
And because they wanted food.
And they were hungry. Go ahead.
For they were fasting. He encouraged them and said to them that victory and conquest of enemies are not derived from the multitude.
It don't matter how big America is. It don't matter how big their army is. Who gives a damn about America's drones? The Lord said not to worship no damn Christmas, man. I was on my way home the other night, about 4 or 5 days ago. I'm coming up Westchester Pike. I get stuck in traffic. I look up, one of them damn drones in the sky. They got the whole street blocked up. I got out the car and said, man, get out the damn way. They, scared. The Lord don't care nothing about them damn drones. You know what I mean? Read.
From the multitude in armies, but in the exercise of piety
towards God. In what?
In the exercise of piety towards God.
We got to humble ourselves before the Most High. That's where we get power from. We got to take on these high holy days. That's where we get power from. We got to remember the law, statutes, and commandments. That's where we get power from. We got to forgive our brother and forgive our sister and work together as one. That's where we get power from. We got to hold on to not eating pork, shrimp, lobster, and all this garbage. That's where we get power from. One day we'll have a nation to do it. One day we'll have a nation that'll say, we ain't going to eat no pork. We don't give a damn what you say. One day we'll have a nation where sisters won't kill their babies no more. Where our sons won't become sissies in their kingdom no more. The nerve of us to run on a platform of turning our sons into sissies and killing our babies. Like that's a strategy too deep for me. Like how you take over a kingdom that way is way too, that's above my pay grade. I can't strategize that, Q. I don't know how they work that out. No, man, we're going to cleave to the Most High, man. We're going to dedicate the temple of the Lord and damn Christmas, man. Christmas is canceled.
That's right.
Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, come. And that they had the plainest instances in their forefathers, who by their righteousness exerting themselves on behalf of their own laws.
Brother, that's what we need. We need reputation for the things that we do. The Israelite School of U.P.K. has been in the game since 1969. We ain't wavered. We ain't flexed. We don't care how many fake groups you create. We stand with the Most High. We say that. We keep that legacy. Read it again, huh?
Oh, come. That they had the plainest instances in their forefathers, who by their righteousness exerting themselves on behalf of their own laws.
Right. They forefathers had plenty of records of these forefathers who did the same thing on behalf of the laws, who stood up for these laws, these commandments, who believed in the righteousness of this, who believed in the service of the Lord, and they saw themselves a brand new kingdom. Brother, that's what we're supposed to have. We're supposed to have that. It's a disgusting thing. It's a disgusting thing that black people don't have somebody that can stand up and say, black people, we ain't doing that. Black people, that's not for us. We don't have that no more. We had a few that was trying at one time, but that didn't last no time. They bought them niggas off at a drop of a clip. Before you know it, that was the end of that with us. Read.
Oh, come. And their own children had frequently conquered many 10,000s. For innocence is the strongest army.
The innocence is the strongest army. Hey, Akkad, you know you got chairs upstairs, right? Okay, beautiful. Most High Christ. All right. And I'll tell you what, is there any way we can slide up a little bit? Everybody just ease the table up a little bit. And y'all make some room. If you don't need a chair, whatever, we're gonna get crowded in here. I love when it get crowded. Y'all don't know. When I was going to school up in New York at 1 West, I tell the story all the time, Q. There wasn't no room for nobody. So mashiach used to line us up. He used to take all the officers and line us up on the edge of the podium. We'd be all the way around the podium having class because that's how many brothers and sisters wanted the truth. And brother, that day should come back again. Bring back all the warriors. Damn Christmas, man. Let me tell you something, man. Instead of getting a toy for your damn self or for the kids, teach all the kids and the families a lesson about all the things that's wrong with our nation, man. Teach them a lesson about that. Can you get in, sis? There you go. Yeah, man. Y'all bring it up. Bring it up. You can put them on the brother side in the back too. I love it. Come on, move up even closer. Why y'all back so far? These front tables. Y'all scared of me. I know. I'm joking, of course. Y'all come on up. Come on up. Y'all move up. Move them up. Move the tables up. Come on, everybody. Let's take a minute to move the tables up. All right. Marab, sound me off on these different schools, man, so I can give them a big shout out. Everybody come on in here, man. Take your jacket off. We're going to sweat a little bit. We're going to read some scriptures. We're going to be together in brotherhood and sisterhood. And we're going to add something to ourselves. We're going to add something to ourselves, and we're going to show ourselves tonight that we have not given up on the Most High. Take your time. Take your time. We haven't given up on the Most High. We haven't given up on righteousness. We haven't given up on putting this nation together. Great men worked hard to put it together. Many of them sick tonight. Some of them sick tonight. General YAHANNA, General Michael, General Hazayan, SHALAM, they all sick. Sick, brother. Sick or got a family member sick. I was getting calls all day. They was like, I'm trying, General. And I got sick the last 2 holy days. I couldn't get up in here. But we warring for this. All right, y'all got room? You good? All right, y'all, let me know what it look like. We good? You got room? All right, cool. Let's go on, fam, all right? Let's get into it. Tell them where you at.
Sir. Josephus. Book 12, chapter 7.
Come on.
For innocence is the strongest army.
For what?
For innocence is the strongest army.
Let me tell you something, Ma. You better pick this up, what he just said. What he just said was colossal, was huge. Read it one more time for him.
For innocence is the strongest army.
Who could tell me what does that mean? Hands. Who could tell me what that means? I come out the ghetto, I don't know nothing. You know the Bible, tell me what God said. Read it again.
For innocence.
I want to serve God. Show it to me, man. Read it.
For innocence is the strongest army.
Anybody? Take a shot. Take a shot. Israelite school of U.P.K. This is where the answers come from, man. This is where the answers come from. The royalty of Christ comes into this building and not these fake groups. Here's where the answers is at. Come on, Levi. Give it to me. Shout it. They'll repeat it. Go ahead.
Basically, innocence.
Oh, there you go.
If I may, I want basically innocence being the strongest army. It's like you can't fight with your enemy and then you're on crack. You're smoking weed and you're wicked. Like the Black Panthers, they were trying to fight the enemy, but they were sleeping with white women. They were smoking. They were doing drugs. They were selling drugs to their own people. They were not innocent. As opposed to in the I.S.U.P.K, we are blameless. And because we are blameless, that is the strongest army that's going to fight our enemies.
Give it up, y'all. Let me tell you something, Ma. Our righteousness that we turn to, as we turn to our righteousness, we give up our sin, we become brand new. Brother, we become innocent. We innocent to the evil that they do to us. We innocent to the murders that they commit on us. We innocent to the sins that they commit. And brother, that's more powerful. It's more powerful than any army. Is your righteousness to the Lord, your innocence before the throne of the Most High. He understood that. You better understand that. You better become brand new. Wash yourself from your sin. Become a new person, man, that don't want no sin, that don't want to make no sin, that wants to see righteousness come into the earth. And one of those things of righteousness is getting rid of this raggedy ass Christmas. That's one of those proponents of righteousness that you want to see. Harmony amongst your brothers, harmony amongst your sisters, man. Righteousness in our law, statutes, commandments, our judgments. You understand? That's us coming together like nights like tonight. I love the fact that they can't get through here with the pans of food. I love it. I'm waiting for somebody to fall. Still the food. Waiting for it. You say yes, Lord. You understand? Y'all better move that chair in though a little bit, just to be careful. You understand? Because we should come together. We should be together. We should stand up for this truth. We should give our lives for it, man. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. Big shout out to all those that fought for this work before us and that'll fight with us and after us. All right? Go ahead.
By this speech, he induced his men to contend.
And if I could, because I feel like I need to just throw this in there. What I'm trying to say is, when you give up the evils of this world and you start to walk right with the Most High, you're gaining power with the Most High. He's telling you that the best way to arm yourself is by being righteous and innocent and not a wicked, slimy bastard that we was in the world. And now he's going to show you how a slimy bastard overthrew our whole nation for nothing. You got more on that? Give me a little more, then I'll go to the Apocrypha.
By this speech, he induced his men to contemn the multitude of the enemy and to fall upon Sarai.
Sorry, I could keep cutting y'all off, but I got to say this. A faithful man, is extremely dangerous. A faithful man is extremely dangerous to Esau. If you got faith in the Most High and in these scriptures, you a problem. You see what it just said? Read it one more time for everybody. I don't know if everybody's getting it. I'm absorbed by it, but I don't know if everybody else is getting it the way I'm getting it. I'm going to have to read it one more time for you and let y'all check it out. A faithful sister is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. If you a wicked nigga, a righteous sister will scare you. You be afraid of her. You be like, I don't like that sister. What's wrong with her? I don't know, something about her. Because you's a rotten ass nigga and the sister is righteous. And you can't deal with that. She's dangerous to you. Read.
By this speech, he induced his men to condemn the multitude.
By what? By what?
By this speech.
That's what got to be in every one of you. You brothers coming out of Hebrew Academy, you young officers, you understand? You spit that dead ass spirit in the grave. You understand? Spit that sinful, sorry ass spirit in the gutter. It said by this speech that he did what? Come on, get it to me.
He induced his men to condemn the multitude.
He induced his men. Meaning he spoke the words of the Lord and the history of our people and woke his men up. And gave them courage, man, to take on this. And that's why we're reading about it now. Because if he had not given them that courage, this holiday would not be going on. We would not have this history in the history books with all the rest of our history. It would not be here. You know what I mean? Brothers, one of the brothers, get a sister a seat. I shouldn't have to ask that. Come on now. Done. I got room up here. I got room for chairs. If you got more chairs, I got more room. If you got more chairs, I got more room. Come on, there's room all up here. There you go. There you go. All right, let's get it in. That was heavy on it. He uplifted them brothers, man. We encourage each other to go rob and steal and murder. We get a little crew of 3 or 4 together, and we ready to pump the next brother because he don't go out there and do something evil. Oh, you bitch ass nigga, man. We going to rob something. All of you end up in the penitentiary because he was stupid and so was you. This brother here, he encouraged his brothers to come up against this evil. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you ain't supposed to fall down halfway on the job. You only tough for a while. You only tough against Esau for a while. Then the pressures of this kingdom get on you. You ready to lay that to the side and put your head on something else, man. One west till they bury me. That's how we get down. You got to stay on this till the Lord see fit to give you the win. You must stay on it till he give you the win. Ain't nothing better than to see a warrior of the Most High struggling with something and not giving up. And not giving up. The Lord here, he see it. Push through, man, and win. Push through and win. Go ahead, Doc. Give me a little more. Then I'm going to the Maccabees, y'all. And then we're going to eat. Did everybody eat already? I see some food out here. No? We're going to get the food going in a second. I bought y'all some 12-year single barrel scotch. Anybody want a shot? I'm putting some in my tea. Somebody told me that's called a hot toddy. I don't know. Somebody taught me that, but I'm putting it in my liquor. In my tea. Salakia. Yeah, man. Putting it in my liquor right now. I got a little cold, and I'm casting it out, and we going on. That's going to be that. Anybody want a shot? Somebody come up and pass out drinks if you want. All right? Kazak, you stay with me. Come on. Let's ride. All right? I know some of y'all are Christians. You don't drink. We Hebrews in here. Huh? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Woo. By the morning, I ain't going to have no cold. Be raising more hell then. All right. I bought my man. Pass it around, see if somebody wants to drink. Bring some napkins up here. Thank you. Let's get into it, fam. All right.
And by his speech, he induced his men to condemn the multitude of the enemy and to fall upon Saram.
Come on.
And upon joining battle with them, He beat the Syrians.
He beat them Syrians. Those are not real Syrians. Those are Edomites. Edomites from the Greco-Roman Empire. Edomites from Alexander the Greek's family line, who took over Syria, made Damascus their home base, and then turned around from Damascus and went and conquered the rest of the world. These are devils. And they brought back in Christmas later on, and we turned around following that garbage. All right, let's go to Apocrypha, man. We'll read a little bit more. Any questions on anything before I go on? Or online, Marah? You got something online? I'll try to see if I can facilitate some answers, and then we'll go on to the story in the Maccabees and show you how we had to get down. And brother, you're going to have to get down. You understand? Brothers love to talk tough in the street. But you don't talk tough when it comes time to deal with the real enemy, the white man. You come in here talking tough about what you did in the street. I'm not impressed.
That's right.
I'm not impressed because most of the time you failed. You went out there and did something evil and you failed. You had the skills. Ain't no question if you the man or not, but you don't know what you doing. Now we coming into this truth. Now we shedding all the evil of the world. Now you going to do some real damage. You cancel Christmas, millions and millions of dollars is going to come into the black community because you cancel Christmas. Millions and millions of women ain't going to whore on their man because you canceled Christmas. Millions and millions of children are not going to be molested because you canceled Christmas.
That's right.
That's right, warrior. You said, Like that's what's going to happen in the earth when you start taking on real responsibility. Not trying to kill homie on the corner for some dumb, stupid reason like a color that the white man gave you. I know you got friends and families that died under some of those names and died under some of them colors. But at some point, you're going to have to say, we getting played.
Right.
We got to switch the game up.
Right.
And get your justice for everything that's going on in a righteous way. In a righteous way. Your homie get killed, bring it to the Israelite school. We'll get you justice for your family member or your homie. It may not be another Israelite body, but it will be justice for them. And then we can go on to build something greater. Move on things that's more important, like canceling disgusting Christmas.
That's right.
So many scams go on during Christmas. I mentioned this in the class. Every warehouse they rob and kill.
You know that.
Everywhere across the country is rob central. Criminal activities. Once again, when we just finished reading, the Judas turned around and told the brothers, man, your innocence is more important. Your innocence can take down an army. This bastard set up a high holy day for your innocence to harm you more by making you a sinner. Making you, that's why we got jammed up in the wilderness. We got jammed up in the wilderness because they had taught us so well how to be a grubby rat for everything we get. So as soon as we got out in the wilderness and certain things we couldn't get, we ran going crazy. We wanted to kill Moses to go back to Egypt. I'm not robbing no warehouse. I'm not stealing no Christmas toys. I don't give a damn about no microwave or none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? You tripping over. I'm not doing that. Your innocence is more important. Be bigger than the rest of the world. You was brought in here to be bigger than the rest of the world. Not to be part of the world, to be bigger. See it and leave it. See it and walk away. See it and make sure you don't get charged for it. Paul said this, suffer not as a sinner.
Right.
You don't want to be a cat locked up over something stupid you did, or something you couldn't put your hands on, or you couldn't stay away from hustling dope, so you went back to it. I just need a little money, man. My bills got behind. You telling the Lord I'm a rat. I'm a disgusting rat. I ain't got no strength. I got too much pride to go to my brothers and say, I'm in a jam, I need help. I got too much pride to turn around and go to suffering line. Instead, I got to commit a crime. I'm going to have to be a part of the white man's little game he's been playing on me for so long. Damn that. Damn that, turn your back on me. Let's be special, man. Let's be something that make the angels come out and argue with the Most High. That's what I want. Boy, I wish I could look up into heaven. I want to see the angels argue with the Most High. I want to hear them. Give me that scripture. You know what I want, Kazak. You know what I want, right? Give me that scripture where the angels would say, how long, oh Lord? That's an argument. When your wife come in and say, how long I got to wait for you to cut the grass? That's an argument. You in an argument. Well, these angels argued with the Most High to save your black ass, to save your Latino ass, to save your Native Indian and West Indian ass. They argued with the Most High in heaven. And if you understand the Most High, you wouldn't be arguing with him. Because he said, I'm a man of war. Brother, let's be the best. Let's be different, man. Let's be great. Give me that one scripture. I'm going to go back to what we read, y'all.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 10. And they cried with a loud voice.
Or one verse above it.
Verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God.
Them angels saw us who got killed for the word of the Lord. This was good. Woo, this right here. Oh my God, you got a cold. You got to get one of these. Huh? I got what I got up in here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I got. I got moringa. I got green tea. I got ginger, lemon, few other choice special little herbs. And I got some regular black tea, all heated up with a shot of that 12-year-old Scott. By the time we finish at 9, I ain't gonna feel no pain. Oh, I got a little milk thistle and a little red ginseng in here too. Salakia. Woo, this good. Go ahead. Come on with it.
The altar, the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they had.
Right, for the testimony for which they held. Them brothers held this testimony and got killed for it. And the angels is up in heaven and they see it. They see how them brothers died. And they came and argued with the Most High. How long, oh Lord? They pleaded with the Most High. Read on.
And they cried with a loud voice.
They cried with a loud voice. They made an argument to the Lord. Come on.
Saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them?
That's what we want. Huh? Don't you want to see the Lord hear those angels and avenge our blood on them that slain us? You got to be righteous. Don't you want to see the Lord make that happen? Don't you want to see miracles before your eyes, man? Don't you want to see the status quo of the world we're in changed to something you never thought could happen? I do. And it's worth everything. It's worth everything for us. And them angels knew it. And they argued with the Most High for that. They wanted that. What about us? We should want it too. We should want it just as much. Come on with it.
And for the
y'all got extra.
And avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth.
Right. Was that it? All right. Come on back. That's right. Goes on. Right. Yeah. That's all right. We'll come back. Excuse me. Excuse me.
2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 39. Now when many sacrileges had been committed in the city by Lysimachus.
Stop right there. You see what these Greeks did? They came into our city and created sacrileges. Did everything that was against our law, statutes, and commandments. Hold on, black people, Latino people, Native Indian people. Hold on. Don't put your sword down on what you're trying to do. Don't put your sword down if you're trying to fight your way out of the bag. Don't put your sword down, male and female, if you done suffered endlessly, trying your best to walk the walk of the Most High, don't put your sword down. Because the day you do, Satan's just gonna laugh at you. He's gonna say, look at you, you stupid. You should have never even tried. I could have told you I was gonna stop you. No, you're not letting him stop you. Win righteousness at all costs. Come on with it,
with the consent of Menelaus, and the fruit thereof was spread abroad. The multitude gathered themselves together against Lysimachus.
Go ahead.
Many vessels of gold being already carried away.
He already had halfway robbed the temple, robbed all the stuff of the nation. Go ahead. Which is what you're dealing with right now today. That's your child support. That's your never ending, your wages never raised up. That's your increase in taxes. That's all your new fines and high car parking meter taxes and God knows whatever other garbage he creates. That's all that is. You ain't poor because you poor. You poor because you've been robbed. And it has always, let me tell you, as I read this Bible and I look at everything that goes on, that has always been the reason we have fallen. We've broken the Lord's law, and some piece of garbage nation have come in and taken us over. The Lord said that these nations are as a drop in the bucket. He could give a damn about it. But yet they get up over us and steal everything from us and drag us down into the gutter and turn us into a rat in the gutter. And we allow it. We allow it with holidays like that stinking Christmas. People are the most evil during Christmas. They got the worst attitude during Christmas. Every cop that got to work tonight on Christmas, oh, he's a mess tonight. He's drunk. He done smoked the blunt in the patrol car. He's mad at you because he know he can't go watch his wife, who he know is sleeping with the neighbors. So he's mad as hell. And he's going to exact his revenge on whomever he see fit or is able to do so. That's your Christmas, man. That's what you want us to worship. That garbage. Go ahead,
Verse 40. Whereupon the common people rising and being filled with rage, Lysimachus armed about 3,000 men and began first to offer violence. One Aronus being the leader, a man far gone in years and no less in folly. Verse 41. They then, seeing the attempt of Lysimachus, some of them caught stones, some clubs, others taking handfuls of dust that was next at hand, cast them all together upon Lysimachus and those that sat upon them. Verse 42. Thus many of them they wounded, and some they struck to the ground, and all of them they forced to flee. But as for the church robber himself, him they killed beside the treasury. Verse 43. Of these matters, therefore, there was an accusation laid against Menelaus. Verse 44.
You can stop right there. Go to 1 Maccabees, first chapter. Let's get into this war, man. Let's get into this war. You wonder why men of God love war? Well, number one, because the Lord said he's a man of war. But you know why men of God love war? Because when they see injustice and unrighteousness in the earth, they want to go to war. They want to bring that into righteousness under the Most High. And many times they can't. That Christian church has taught you that you can't never get no justice. That you got to be old, mealy, loving, love everybody, forgive, kiss hands, and kiss each other and turn the other cheek. I got news for you, brother. This earth is about to become a bloodbath. And the righteous is going to love it. The men of God, they're going to love it. Because righteousness, you're going to be prosperous. Your people are going to come up. Oh, you're going to come up in ways you never believed you could come up. You ain't going to believe it. Let me tell you something. I was just talking to the brothers in Chicago. You know, I was out there. They was freezing my ass up there in that reservation. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking with Captain Mount and the brothers. Thank you, brother. I'm talking with Captain. Y'all could have finished it. What y'all ain't want to take the last corner? Good, righteous brothers and sisters. They left the corner. Anybody else want the corner? Y'all come on, get it, man. It's all good. I got mine already. I'm glad y'all was able to get it. You know, man. So I'm up there and they teaching me, right, all about the Gadites and all of that. and they start to tell me about, General Yana, if we could just get us a shelter in Chicago, we could start to steer these brothers in the right direction. And I'm gonna go sit down with the generals and see how we could do that. How can we steer brothers in that right direction as this war starts to fall apart and starts to tear this country apart and this empire apart? Those are the kind of things that righteous men now start to think about. Not selfish men, but righteous men. Come on, walk me down. Got 1 hour on this, less than an hour. 50 minutes.
First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chile, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Right. So he went in there and killed Darius, who allowed us to go back to our land and set ourselves up. So, which was the Lord. So he turned around and said, y'all go ahead and you can read about all of this in the scriptures as well, Ezra and so forth, where he cut us loose. We went back, built up the land, set up the land, and sure enough, those Greeks came out of the mountains, came out of them Greek isles, and brought their ships and soldiers down and attacked us further, and attacked Darius and attacked the Syrians and all that, and took over that land. That's why them people up there are Edomites, Assad, and all of them cats that they overthrow, those is devils up there. Those ain't no Arabs, they just devils with Arabs' names. Okay, because they overthrew that area and became rulers in that area. Read on.
That he reigned in his stead.
Go ahead.
The first over Greece. Verse 2. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations.
He went all over the earth conquering and killing. That's Christ's position. Christ is the only one capable of governing this entire earth. Nobody else capable of that. You so stupid, you worshiping a tree on December 25th. We gonna find you sensible enough to rule the whole earth? You can't rule yourself. You can't stop yourself from killing and murdering all over the earth. Why in the hell would we listen to you? Damn Christmas, man. Christmas has been a curse on us. Our kids go to school for 12 years. No, it's more than 12, right? Kindergarten, 13 years. 13 years our kids go to school. And not one class on morality in our school. We killing each other every day in the street. Don't you think some superintendent would have been smart enough to say, yo, why don't we put a morals class in the class? It's 13, they in here 13 years. But the son of a bitches won't even put, excuse my friend. My bad. These old rotten pieces of you know what. They won't even put one morals class in the class. You be in college by the time they come out with a moral class. Like, why? It makes sense. We'll show you the school it's not doing everything that we need. The things we need the most is not doing. It's doing the most for them, but it's not doing the most for us. We need to be taught morals. We need to be taught righteous rules. We need to be taught these laws and statutes and commandments, which are so holy. They're so holy and so amazing. You sit up there and study these laws and statutes and commandments and see why things were the way they were, and why certain ceremonies were, why certain laws were. You begin to realize, wow, this is a heavy level of being a moral people. And the Lord said it too, when he turned around and said in the scriptures that would be our wisdom. The nations would look at us with that wisdom. Instead, we go into some big lot at the mall in the middle of December, dragging a tree in the house. And a tree the particular tree you dragging in the house carries a certain bug. Anybody familiar with that? Oh man, somebody look that up. The tree you bring in the house for Christmas carries a certain bug, and that bug starts fires. Dumbass. Somebody look it up and read it for me. It starts fires. You wonder why? Don't people check their electricity and check? Yeah, they do. Till the bug climb into the damn wire. Into the outlet and crack the shell and it spark. Burn your whole damn house up. Burn your kids to death. worshiping some godless religion from some devil. We canceling Christmas.
That's right.
Nobody find it?
That's right.
Come on. Hit me.
Real Christmas trees are living trees grown outdoors. And like other living outdoor trees, they harbor overwintering insects.
What? What? They harbor what?
They harbor overwintering insects.
Overwintering insects. You know what that means? That means the insects is in the tree during winter and it's getting cold. It stays cold. It gets dormant because it's cold outside. So it stays in the tree. But is it cold around that tree during Christmas? No. Why? Because Captain of the Dumbasses is bringing it in the house in the middle of December. Read on.
And other arthropods.
And offer what? Other what?
Other arthropods.
I need a scientist for that. What the hell is arthropod? Go ahead, Doc.
Some of these arthropods.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Doc. It's an exoskeleton of other bugs. Good night. Go ahead.
Some of these arthropods can remain on a tree when it is brought indoors and can become active when exposed to warm indoor temperatures.
Go ahead.
Depending on the species, the arthropods may remain on the tree or may be attracted to nearby light sources.
Might be attracted to nearby light sources. Come on, give me some more.
Such as windows during the day or lamps
dashing through the snow. Come on, give me some more.
And other artificial lights at night. However, because they are associated with living coniferous trees, none of these species that might be introduced to a home via a real Christmas tree are dangerous to the home, its contents, or occupants.
You could burn down the neighborhood, stupid. You could burn down the whole building over this disgusting holiday. You could kill everybody, your babies, everybody, over this dumb holiday that's against the Lord, which means he ain't gonna be with you. Who know the origins of jingle bells? I know y'all know that one. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Anybody know the history of jingle bells? Come on now.
It was a slave song, sir.
Yes, it was. Somebody get me the interpretation. I see ain't nobody raised their hand. Y'all been jingle belling it up for a minute, huh? Oh, you know it, you know it. Look at the little princess like, I got that. I know that one. Now you got to find out. It's so evil what's been done to us here. And it's almost comical to bring it out. And that's why as men of God, we got to be gatekeepers, man. I know you don't want to go home and tell your woman, man, look, we ain't doing Christmas. Oh, it's like the worst battle you get. You go home and have to tell her we ain't doing Christmas. Is she in the world? Woo! You be like that kid in the Karate Kid doing this shit here. Come on, let's go. But you got to tell her. You got to enforce it. If you care about her, you got to do it. If you love that woman, you got to do it. If you want some manhood on what you build, you got to do it. Look around this room right here. I want you to look at the garments on these brothers and the garments on these sisters. I want you to look at the pictures on the wall. You know where this come from? Us. Ain't no white man designed these garments. Ain't no white man taught us these scriptures. Ain't no white man decorated this school. Ain't no white man or no other heathen did a damn thing in this place but us. Hard-working brothers and sisters. They cared enough about us and cared enough about our well-being to stand up in this work. We ain't got to copy nobody. And guess what? If we be courageous, if we stand for the Most High, if we push this truth, if we don't back down, guess what? We'll build more for us by us. And it'll be more righteous as we go. And we'll look up one day and we'll have a righteous nation. We'll have a whole nation of righteous people. We'll be the judges, the prosecutor,
The executioner, the military, the president will be all that for us, like every other nation was before. All right, let's read.
I got some jingle bells too, Joe.
Do it.
Oh, God. The historical context of the song's composer, James Lord Pierpont, and the fact that bells were often used on slave collars.
That's where the jingle bells come from. When they put that piece up, can we get that piece, Barack? That piece that they put on the slaves, y'all know the piece, right? With the bells hanging down. They put that on them slaves and sang that song when they was bringing them back from the slave. When they caught a slave, they threw the bells on them. And when they walked him back in, they sung jingle bells. The people heard the bells ringing as they bringing the slave back in. Read on. You telling me we should worship Christmas? Damn you rotten ass preachers that put Christmas in your church. That you make people think that worshiping that religion is worshiping God. Right. I want to see them angels get down. It's time, like when the Lord said, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ready. I'm so ready for it. I'm so want to see it. Go ahead, Al.
And the fact that bells were often used on slave collars to monitor their movements has led some to speculate about a potential connection to slavery. It says slave bells. Historically, bells were attached to slave collars to prevent escape attempts, meaning the sound of jingle bells could be associated with the harsh realities of slavery.
Go ahead.
James Lord Pierpont, the composer of Jingle Bells, was a known supporter of the Confederacy during the American Civil War, which further fuels speculation about a potential link to slavery, although the song's lyrics don't explicitly address the topic.
Of course, because they cleaned it up. Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. Come on, now, break it down. Laughing all the way. Break it down, now. What do they mean? Go ahead. You want me to take it? Listen, a one-horse open sleigh was what you carried the slave back on. That's why it was open. You didn't want him to be hidden inside. You wanted everybody to see him. It was a one-horse sleigh so that he could be dragged in on that sleigh. And so they bring him back. He got the bells on him, and they bringing him in on that one-horse open sleigh. These bastards sung about it, man. Sung about our destruction. Put it in, every year, we in there following them, talking about eggnog and mistletoe for their holiday. Christmas is canceled. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, my cousin, after they said they made the spirit right, what fun it is and all that.
Come on, we need to get the whole song. The whole damn song is evil. You got more in it?
That's it, sir.
Right. Now, how righteous is it for you to take our children and to teach our children that that song is evil? And for our children to reject that song and to walk away from that song. Christmas is an evil, satanic holiday that celebrates the destruction of us. We should never worship no Christmas. You understand? And it's every prophet's job to make sure the world knows that it's evil. They sing this song everywhere. You could go to Japan, and them old terrible Japanese singers is in there. Jingle bell, jingle bell. They out there singing about our destruction. Like we supposed to have pride in a certain area of life. Read on. That's it on that?
That's it on that.
Let's get back to the story. We got 30 minutes, fam.
Oh, God. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
He killed so much and destroyed so much, he had no enemies. He had no enemies. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
Right. He was puffed up, which is what always happens. We fall for breaking the Lord's law, and then our enemies they gain so much in the earth that they just become proud. They start thinking they the special one, just like Esau. That's why they love Donald Trump. He's old arrogant white supremacist. They love him because of that very same reason. And that's what always happens. Every empire, it'll go for a while, and then they find the most arrogant, puffed up, proud bastard they can find. So they can all be proud. They can't wait. They can't wait to get to you and harm you and give you hell and treat you like a nigga and put you in your place. They always walking around like they gotta act like they gotta straighten you out. They gotta get you right, like they gotta be policing you. All of that. It goes on and on and on, but it's coming to an end. The Lord wants it to stop. And thanks be to the Lord. The only way it gets stopped is our innocence, our turning to the Father. And we're going to do it. Come on with it, y'all.
Come on. Verse 4.
We good, Marah? I'll take him in a little bit, all right? Go ahead,
Come on, sir. Verse 4. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries.
Ruled over countries. Go ahead.
And nations.
Nations. You think he'd be satisfied? Go ahead.
And kings.
Go ahead.
Who became tributaries unto him.
Come on, brothers. Find some seats for these sisters, man. Get them strapped. Set it all up, y'all. Tighten it up. Go ahead,
Al. Verse 5. And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
He thought he was over. Well, now he knew he had to fix something. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with them from his youth.
Right. Go ahead.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Come on.
So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. Verse 8. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
What verse you at?
Verse 9, sir.
Go ahead.
So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
And when they got in power, like all Edomites, nothing but evil multiplied in the earth. All right, you can bring me down a little bit? All right, go ahead. How far down can we go?
14.
Start at 15. Take 15.
15. Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Verse 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. Verse 17. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude.
Where you at?
Verse 17. Sir.
What chapter?
Chapter 1, sir.
Go ahead.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy. Verse 18. And made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Verse 19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. Verse 20. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Verse 21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary.
He thought it was not a big deal to go into the temple of the Lord. That's why at the end of all of this, you're going to walk white people with a leash like a dog.
That's right.
You're going to see them in cages. You're going to see hell on these people to walk up into the temple of Yahawah and to take it lightly and to destroy that temple and to take its goods away. These Edomites should not have been so proud to do that and to do it again. You're going to see what the Lord is going to do to them based on what they've done to you. I mean, all they did was see drones over New Jersey and they in a full panic. Wait till they see what the Lord is really going to do to them.
That's right.
Read.
Verse 21. And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof. Verse 22. And the table of the showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. Verse 23. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. Verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. Verse 25.
They'd like to sweep this under the rug. This was a Holocaust for us. That's why you know most of us have never even heard of it. Because we lived a Holocaust, man. Our temple fell. They murdered us innumerably and just took all the things and went back to their own country. And this has been going on by them and others all over this earth for so long. Go ahead, Al.
Verse 25. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel.
We mourned when we saw these things, man. And that's why this dedication is so righteous. So righteous that we dedicate this time, that we stand for the Most High, that we be patient and stick to the Lord. Because we stuck to the Lord and we became victorious over our enemies. So we come now every year and dedicate these temples, or this temple, to the Most High, to the work that brothers in the past lived and died for. Go ahead, Al.
In every place where they were. Verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Verse 27. Every
and listen, and if I could, I want to go back to that scripture for a second. That scripture is so what happens when you get overthrown. Like you always hear me say it in the classes or on the radio show, the worst thing that could ever happen to you and your people is to go into captivity. And brother, what's even worse than that is for your people to go into captivity and you don't lift up your arm to fight for it.
That's right.
That's even worse. You lift up your goddamn arm to fight for you and your people and get them out of this hell, man.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Read that verse right there again, man. In 26. Listen to this verse very, very good. Because this verse is the same thing as happened to us today because of this evil empire.
Right.
Give it to me.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourn.
The princes, listen, the princes and the elders mourn. They were sad. The real men that was ruling over Israel. Not these old, you know what I call them. Not them. But the ones that really cared about the nation, they suffered in their heart. They mourned over this nation. Go ahead.
And young men were made feeble.
And young men were made feeble. What do they do to our young men in this society? They make them feminine. They make them feminine. That's what it means when they say the young men became feeble. Whereas the young men used to be strong. They came and did so much slaughter to them, they make them feeble. They doing it today when the cops come and pull you over and drag you out the damn car.
Right.
They making men feeble. Even if they don't kill you, enough times of it is meant to break your spirit. Right. Enough false accusations, enough time going to jail. All of that's made to make you feeble. Right. And you should be aware of it for what we went through in the past. That's why we reading this story. We reading this story so you can shake off that bitch ass spirit, Salakia, for being so candid about it. So you can shake it off and become a real man of the Lord. You can't be no sissy and be a man of God. You can't do it. It ain't no room for it. You got to be all man, just like the women got to be all woman. It's the only way you could raise up to be men of God. And brother, the Lord wants you to shake it all off so you could be that man, so you could do those things, so you could fix them things. Read on.
And the beauty of women was changed.
Women beauty was changed. Look at our sisters today. Are they in the beauty of their womanhood? Hell no. I saw a clip of Sexy Red and Gorilla. And I said, do they know that they on a giant stage in a giant stadium with their underwear on? They have no idea. They're in their drawers, jumping up and down on the stage, in their drawers. They done lost their womanhood. Right. These women out here has become lesbians. They gang members. They robbing, stealing, sticking up, and they're going to get worse. They lost their womanhood. That's what happens when you go into captivity. That's what happens when another nation overthrows you. That's why when this nation gets built, boy, oh boy, we're going to have an army that's going to frighten the nations, like the scriptures say in Revelation. And it should. Should it not, Okai? Should they not be afraid? Because if they're not afraid, then they just gonna do what they've been doing for thousands of years. But this time in Christ's kingdom, oh, they're not gonna make a move. They're not even gonna think about making a move. That's why the Bible says they're gonna beat their weapons into plowshares. They're gonna take them weapons and beat them down and say, we don't want no more war. Because this war that the Lord is bringing to them is gonna be a war like they ain't never seen before. They're gonna finally get what they've been dishing out all over this earth. Thanks be to the Lord that they are. Go ahead,
Verse 27. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. Verse 28.
Right, she was in heaviness. Why? Because you at war. You want to get married. You've been courting this brother, but you scared to get married because you scared he about to get shipped off. And the man you care about might get killed. You mourning now. Read.
Verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof.
Right, meaning they changed everything about our land. Changed the rules, changed the name, changed the laws. Just like when you in the neighborhood and you see gentrification, you start getting pissed off. And them white people start saying, excuse me, Shaquita, you have to put your trash in the bag. I'm like, bitch, I've been there 20 years. You can get the fuck out of my face. But that's gentrification. That's what happened to us in this time. Like, once again, our scriptures are so valuable to us. People that made the Bible light to you. They singing and dancing about the Bible and all that. Damn you churches. These records is the best records we could ever have on black people, on Latino people, Native Indian people. This is the best records. These are the records that show us everything that happened to us before and what not to do now. And how to avoid what they're doing to us now. And we need it and desperately should have it. Go ahead.
And all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
It was covered with confusion. That's us now today as well. Right? That's us today. Is it wrong for a man to be in love with another man? Well, we don't know because DNA say da. And there's a whole big confusion. Do you know anybody know what the #1 topic for blacks and Latinos on the internet is? Raise your hand. Anybody know? What is the #1 search topic for blacks and Latinos on the internet today? Anybody? Relationships. Relationships. That is the #1 topic on the internet right now. Relationships. We have no idea how to have a relationship anymore because they gave us confusion. They gave us confusion. I remember when Michael Jackson was out and they was saying he molested that child. Black women was like, Michael Jackson is not gay. Michael Jackson is not gay. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, sure he ain't. Yeah. He just dressed like a woman sometimes. He like a little fun. He's a disgusting faggot eye. That's what he was. You understand? That's what the hell he was. You put on makeup and all that like a woman, that's what you are. Go ahead, Op.
Like, my good sir, what you saying is heavy. Especially about Gorilla and what's her name? Sexy Gray.
Yeah.
The brother Malachi is, that the Epimonius came to try to pour all their wicked doctrine on us. And Malachi fought it. And his son Judah back in these northern they fought it. Even down to the sister with descendant sons. They were giving them to eat pork.
They were outraged.
And they fought it.
That's right.
And they said, no, we're not eating no pork. And they forced them devils out of our community. But today, we just accept their doctrine. And we turn on stage for them.
Today, you're right. Today, that cat that went and sacrificed the pork on the altar, the one that Maccabees went and slayed him on the altar, that cat is your mayor now. That's in your mayor's seat. He on the city council. That's the police commission. He in there pushing every evil, wicked law that they want pushed on. Come on with it. Mirage, 22 minutes. I'm going to take a couple quick questions before we end.
Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah.
Now, after he had destroyed them, took everything we had, totally destroyed us, made our men weak, turned our sisters into something else, devastated us as a people. And brother, instead of old rotten ass Christmas, imagine if we taught our sons and daughters this story from young.
Right.
Imagine how much prepared they would be to resist the things that's being pushed on us today. They would be strong to resist it, and it would be glorious, man. Y'all come on in here, fit on up in here. Come on now. Get up in here, y'all. You know what I mean? I hope y'all come all the way up in here one day and that death angel come out there and get Esau. Salakia. Come on, y'all. Come on in here. Go ahead. Read on. Let's go. We almost done. We got 20 minutes, fam.
Who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. Verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them.
Nice and fast. Go ahead.
But all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city.
He fell on that city. The minute they opened the door and tried to be peaceable with him, he fell on that city. Go ahead.
And smote it very sore.
Come on.
And destroyed much people of Israel.
Come on.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. Verse 32. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. 33. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
And that's just like today. Them old gated communities, them old suburbs, they move all up in them areas, secure themselves in there, have their little county sheriff, all of that, while you on the outside in the poor section. It ain't nothing new. They doing the same thing they did for thousands of years to harm and hurt us. And we got to stop being blind and dumb. We got to open our eyes and awaken and help strengthen our brothers and sisters against this day. Come on with it, y'all.
Verse 35. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare. Verse 36. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary.
It was just like it is today. They in the suburbs, full of guns, full of weapons. You know what I mean? They pick up trucks threatening us every minute. That's what happened in L.A. The gangs were in L.A., got formed because these Edomites were coming out of the suburbs with their pickup trucks attacking black people. And so they start forming these gangs to protect them. Then when Esau saw those gangs was protecting them, they just called in the CIA and said, we know what to do. Don't worry about it. We'll give both sides of them some drugs. Give them a little while. They'll be killing each other. And sure enough, that's what happened. Both sides started getting the drugs and started killing each other over territory. And it was easy to do because your education was under them. So you wasn't learning nothing anyway. Like I said, 13 years of school, you won't learn a single thing about morals in no school. You will learn about morals when you get to college. You won't learn about morals in no school. Why? Because teaching you morals will stop you from getting played by them. That's why our laws were so important to us. Because with our laws, we wouldn't go past a certain point to harm one another because we knew that it was against that law. It wasn't right. So we didn't do it. That's how you stop brainwashing. That's how you stop masses of people from being moved in the wrong direction. Read.
And an evil adversary to Israel. Verse 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
All right. Give me 2 more parts and we done. I want the part where Judas came down and killed that cat on the altar with his Moabite woman, I think it was, or when he came down on the altar, I might be mixing up. And then I need to get the part where they ran them daggone Greeks out of there, and we went to set back up the temple for the dedication. Then I'm gonna take a couple. Matter of fact, I'll take a couple questions while you set that up. Go ahead if I can. Please.
A young brother said he was 12 years old. He said, why is it that in school he sees so the young brother online, he said, why in school, he said 12 years old, he said, how come in school we see 9 brains changes instead of the 7 that we use?
He said what?
Because we have 7. Yes, why in school they have is it 9 brains?
Yeah, that's a good question. The so-called Jew took on what he called the Talmud. The Talmud is a book that was written by white so-called Jews and Babylonians. And they had that record, and what they did is they took that record and brought it into the records of Israel. The Talmud is a fake book. If you study in the Talmud, throw it in the trash. It's garbage. The Talmud is just heathens' way of making our belief system suitable for them. I'll give you another perfect example of it, Christianity. That's why you got the new, the New King James Version of the Bible. You got all these versions of the Bible because they're creating a way for our belief system to fit into their world. That's what they're doing. That's why they keep changing the record, keep changing the records. And so that's all the Babylonians did when they had us in captivity. So one of the things that they changed is they came up with 9 candles. And I can guarantee you, I don't know it off the top, but I can guarantee you, if you go search the history of them 9 candles, you're going to find some pagan holiday attached to it, that they were trying to marry together with our records and give us that religion. So that's where they get it from, but it comes from us, and it's only 7. All right, so I hope that answers his question.
Another question from she said, I'm at the slavery. She tuned into the class. The young sister is listening with me, and she would like you to break down why Christmas is a sin, sir.
Y'all want to take the time? Israel, y'all want to take the time?
Oh, God.
I'm ashamed of y'all. A young sister wants to understand Christmas. You only been sitting there 2 hours and you ready to throw her under the bus. I'm going to give you another chance. Sisters, brothers, should we break it down for her? We got to care about us.
Right.
It got to be more important than us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Be strong.
Right.
So what you sweat? Be strong. Let's get it done. Give it to him, Jeremiah. Y'all like, what? Break what now for? Tell that bitch come in class. No, that's not right, y'all. Let's do this, fam. Please. All right, come on.
Let's look at Jeremiah chapter 10.
Come on.
Verse 1.
Put the energy in it, y'all. War for this truth. Come on.
Oh God, hear ye the word of the Lord. Hear ye the word which the Lord has spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
This is why Christmas is wrong for the system. Because Christmas is in the Bible. And the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. This is a heathenistic religion, and you'll see it as Marah goes through it and breaks it down. Go ahead, Ak.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And all these things, the drones and whatever else you see in the sky, the Lord said, don't be dismayed at it. Don't be shocked at it. Don't be afraid of it. Don't look at it like it's something special that the Lord is doing. When the Lord comes, you're going to know it for sure. And yes, there is no such thing as aliens. That's all bull crap coming from your slave master. Give me some more.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
The heathens believe in that. That's why they're going crazy on the Jersey Shore. They dismayed at the start. They looking at zodiac signs and what time we living in and looking at all kind of records to see what's going to happen. Don't worry about none of that, Ak. We got to worry about walking in the righteousness of the Most High. Go ahead. Come on.
Verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
Come on.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Come on.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Come on.
They deck it with silver and gold.
Invested with bills.
You read it about Christmas in the Bible. The reason we're not familiar with it is because it's a Babylonian religion. Christmas has nothing to do with Christ. It's a Babylonian religion that they added Christ's name to it. That's all. And it was meant to destroy you and to blind you from the truth. Come on, Israel. Go.
Hammers that it move not.
That it move not. You take that tree and you hammer it together in your house. You make that, you bring forth that religion. And it took those of us in here, it took us many, many years. Y'all know it took many years to fight that religion. It's so ingrained in you from a child. From a little child, it's ingrained in you to look at that Christmas tree, to sneak downstairs at night, to smell all the fragrance coming off of them light bulbs and that glitter, to eat the little cookies and candy. And sometimes that rotten mother or father that you had was kind of nice during that time. Sometimes. You understand? And that's why we were so caught up in it. Come on, y'all. Get them in chairs. Set them up, fam. Set them up. We almost done. We 20 minutes in. Read on.
Oh, God. They are upright as the palm tree.
They are upright as the palm tree. Get them in, y'all. Get them in. Get them in with the captain there. Come on.
But speak not.
But they don't speak. They're not alive. They're not alive. Go ahead.
They must needs be born because they cannot go.
They can't go. They can't go. They can't. They're not alive. But it was set up originally as a religion for you to act as though that tree was alive. Go ahead.
God.
Come on.
Neither also is it in them to do good.
Meaning it's not alive. It don't do good or bad. Read.
They cannot do evil, neither is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might.
There's none like unto the Lord, because the Lord was great. That's nothing but a tree. The Lord said not to worship it. I hope that answers a question. All right? Tell me when you're ready, Kazak. Let's finish it up. You got more, Ra, you got more questions?
I got one from
Hazahad? Throw it out to me. I'll try to finish it, and then we'll just, you got both my parts, right?
Yeah,
all right, come on. We're going to finish it up.
Said, is there any person in the Bible that went against the prophets to claim that Israel's role is to bring all other nations into the covenant?
Say it one more time, Marab, nice and loud.
Said, is there any person in the Bible that went against the prophets to claim that Israel's role is to bring all the other nations into the covenant?
Okay, not by those direct words, but we reading about one where they took the same action. Like this action was an action. Remember what the king said. The king said, "Oh, this." Let me tell you something. This story is so heavy in there, and that's such a great question for the person that brought it up. This king told all the nations that he ruled, just like America. He said everybody should have one. Find it for me, Kazak. Where he said, let us all be one religion, one name. You know the one I'm talking about? He told us all, look, we to have one religion, y'all, one identity. No more all these religions and everybody all caught up. One religion for everybody. That's what he taught us. And then he went about to enforce it. He said, I'm going to enforce it. And he slaughtered us to make us be that way. But when he got to Judas Maccabees made history by standing up against this cat. So to answer the question by Hazahab, this is exactly what they did. But they didn't say directly, oh, we're going to do it. Matter of fact, get me the one also, Kazak, where it says that they received license to do these things. And I'll explain it even better. Excuse me. And that's the religion of every empire. Right. The minute an empire becomes powerful and it overthrows all the nations, the first thing it wants is everybody to have one religion. Why? Who can tell me why? Come on, y'all. Who can tell me why? You build this great big empire and you got to have everybody believe one religion. Why? Go ahead. Go now.
Order, sir.
Give me more.
They want everybody to be indoctrinated in their one doctrine.
Why?
So they can rule.
Thank you. Rule without
Interference.
Who said that? Always raise your hand up. You stole his answer. They can rule without rebellion. When you got different religions, you're gonna have rebellion over those religions, like he brought out. And they don't want rebellion. So they need you to give up your religion and become part of their religion. And then now we all got peace. We all celebrating 4th of July, even though you got killed on 4th of July and was a slave. We all celebrating Christmas, even though we reading your history where you got wiped out for them to have Christmas. All their religions are now your religions, and you got wiped out for those religions to be in effect, which is why we should never believe in no one world order, no one world religion, no one world nothing, except for the world of Israel. All right. You got it for me, Kazak? Come on with it. And I'll finish it up. I'm almost over.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away, every one from their religion.
You got to listen to this courageous brother. This brother turned around and said, although all the nations go following after Ptolemy and his religion. And why did they do it? Because of his power. Everybody who speaks English and believes in America because of its power. But the Lord don't give a damn about that power. The Lord wants you to serve him even against that power.
Right.
Somebody had their hand up over here.
So I got decree when he said to be one.
Read it for me, nice and loud.
It's yeah, you right. Maccabees 1 and 41.
Read that real quick. Let's go.
Can we read it, sir?
Yeah, whoever got it, read it. We speeding the time.
So book of First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41.
Hey, is a reason y'all brothers standing? Okay, go ahead to the back for me so you don't block everybody, all right? If you stand, yeah, y'all good against the wall. Y'all good against the wall. But you brothers are standing in the aisle, if y'all can swing around back or take a seat, one or the other, I appreciate it. Let's finish. Come on.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all people should be one people.
See that? All should be one people. America the Great. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws.
Everybody should leave their laws. And it's that way now. You could be whatever religion you want. At the end of the day, your religion better include everybody. The whole reason the Israelites are hated, not because they're another religion. They hate it because they're a religion that don't accept everybody else. Like you could be a Muslim, but you better accept everybody. You know what I mean? You could be, what's the old East Indian religions? The Sikhs or whatever other religion. You could be all that, but what better come out your mouth is God love everybody. We the only religion that say, you know what, if you want to call it that, God don't love everybody. Some of you gonna get run to hell into the grave for the evil that you did. That America don't want. That's a conflict. That's a problem. Go back to the story now. Come on with it.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 19. Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
I love this sentence. I love the courage on this man here, man. He deserves to be read about right here. This cat right here, he deserves to be read about. He said, though all the nations listen to him. Now remember now, this cat done slaughtered Israel twice. Done destroyed the Egyptians. Tore down nations all the way down into Israel. And Maccabee and Judah sitting up in there and said, I don't give a damn that all the nations followed him. Go ahead,
and fall away everyone from their religion.
Everybody left their religion. Hey, y'all be quiet in the back, please, please, please. We almost done, fam. Go ahead,
of their fathers and give consent to his commandments.
Right, go ahead.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our father.
That's a badass nigga right there. That's a bad, Salah, strike that. That's a badass Haitian. That is a badass Haitian you listening to right there. He didn't give a damn that everybody followed that. And brother, why should we care?
Right.
We got our laws back, our statutes, our commandments. We got our records back. What the hell should we care about some Christmas or some religion that they standing for? You know how hard it took for us to get these records back, man? I don't even know how we got them back. How the hell we all wake up to the truth? With all this hell we've been in and all the lies that done came out to destroy us, man. One of the greatest steps that we've ever could have gone through. Go ahead,
Al. Verse 21. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's word to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar.
This your mayor. This your black governor. This is your first black congressman. Your first black senator. This is your black police commissioner. This nigga right here. Read.
Which was at Moab, according to the king's command.
Come on.
Verse 24. Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
He was inflamed with zeal. You can't put your hands on nobody now, but you can have the zeal of the Most High. You can wake up and say, I'm going to put the zeal of the Most High power on, and I'm going to do this work. Go ahead,
And his reins trembled.
And what?
And his reins trembled.
He was so zealous for the Lord, his legs were trembling. He was quivering in the legs at how evil this was. It's a bad cat right here. He in there shaking like, y'all see this? He was furious. Go ahead,
Neither could he forbear to show his anger.
He couldn't hide it. Come on.
According to judgment.
We're almost there, y'all. Come on.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
Went and killed this dude on the altar. At that time, we could do that. That time's coming again. Law and order about to be broken down. That's why they're giving all the Edomites guns. Y'all heard about all the new gun laws and all that. They want to arm them Edomites because they know when the plug get pulled on this joint, woo, all them old SEAL Team 6 niggas, shit, they're going to be underground. They're going to be looking for a way out because Jake going to go berserk on it. Go ahead.
Verse 25. Also the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice.
He made other people do it. That's what wicked black leaders do to us. T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and the rest of these slimy pieces of garbage who we've listened to for so long. The best thing that ever came out of COVID-19 was the fact that our people saw that their preachers was a bunch of fakes and phonies. That's right. That was the best thing that came out of that horrible, horrible plague. Go ahead,
He killed at that time, and the altar he pulled down. Verse 26.
Go ahead.
Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God.
Come on.
Like as Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salome.
We don't even have this record no more. This is a record of some other brothers who stood up against them and fought courageously against them. But we don't even have the records no more. But they're mentioning the records for us, and Lord will allow somewhere up the road we'll get our records. Our records are precious to us, man. And this bastard, he loved his Constitution. You see, you ever go down there? He got that joint in a giant concrete building. Come near it. They got so many alarms and bells and cameras and security men. You run up in there messing with that Constitution, they'll come out the walls on it. Right. So much he loved his records. Our records are more precious because they come from the Lord. That's right. Read.
Verse 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
That's what we as men of Christ do. We go up and down in that city and we cry in that city. Say whoever believe in the Most High, whoever want to understand these records and these scriptures, come join the I.S.U.P.K. Come join, give it up. Come join this body. You understand? Like that's what we do. That's where we get it from. Right there. Come on now. Can you give me the end? Give me the last part? I done took everybody over a little bit. Let's get this last part. We're gonna wrap it up, y'all. That's how serious you should be about the work of the Lord. Your job, you've been called as a prophet of the Lord and the sister. You've been called to the Most High. You doing something that is it's going to be biblical. It don't look biblical right now, but it's about to be biblical. It's about to be biblical. And brother, I refuse, me myself, and I hope you feel the same way. I refuse to be faithless in a time that faith is needed. I refuse to submit to all the evil of this kingdom in a time when righteousness is needed, when morality is needed, when forgiveness and brotherhood and sisterhood is absolutely needed. I refuse to bow down to Sexy Red and Gorilla, to P. Diddy and Jay-Z. I refuse to bow down to it. Let's walk the walk the Most High gave us. Marah, you holding anything else? Where's Marah? Good? All right, let's do it. Give it to me. This is the last one and we out, fam. I know y'all hung a long time. This was worth it to us. And it's worth it to us to do it all the time. And as often as we can. It's worth it to us to be strong with one another and to strengthen each other so that we can be prepared against this day. They're going to cut these lights off eventually, and the water and the food. And all we're going to have to rely on is each other. Like General Muhammad always brings out in the class. All we got is us. He's so right when he says it. And that's what all this is to prepare your spirit. They laughed at us. All them groups out there laughed at us. What y'all niggas doing? All y'all niggas is doing is sitting around reading the Bible in your schools. You niggas ain't doing nothing. They was doing everything, supposedly. What they doing now? What we doing? Thank you. Thank you. They didn't understand the Lord's strategy. We raised up righteous brothers and sisters in here. And guess what? All the work got done. Is getting done because of it. They went and put the cart before the horse and raised up all kind of organizations half-cocked and with immoral rules and went and ran themselves. They used to laugh at us. Y'all looking for a spook out of the sky. Them niggas can't stop looking up in Jersey, huh? Looking for every spook Jersey got. You see them niggas in the conscious community looking up, filming. It's something up there. I don't know. Them Israelites might be on this stuff. It's aliens. It's sparkling. Yeah, it's sparkling, nigga. That's the belt buckle coming. That's what's sparkling. Come on. Finish it up.
First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 51. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table and spread out the veils and finished all the works which they had begun to make.
Come on.
Verse 52. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings.
Because we had lost our holy altar that our forefathers had set up under the great King David, who put that altar together, and under his son King Solomon, who built the temple around it. We lost that altar to these filthy heathens, and so we erected another one and rededicated. That's how important our history is. Learn your history about in these classes, man. Learn, make notes. Make notes. Get the books that the brothers teach you. Add all of that to you. Nobody fool you about your history and who you are and your records of you and your people. You keep that for you. The Lord is giving it back to you. These other nations do. Follow all their history, all their gods. They always got a story for you. Well, we're going to keep ours too. We're going to add to ourselves ours as well. Go ahead, Ak.
Which they had made, verse 54.
Come on.
Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned. Even in that was it dedicated with songs.
And that's what it said, the 25th day. It just happens to fall on December 25th this year. But it could fall on any day. But it's fallen on December 25th this year, which is why we're in here celebrating it tonight. So what you celebrating in here tonight, brothers and sisters, is of a humongous war that took place, you understand, in our land. Now, I don't know if you can get this for me, because I just got to get one scripture. If you can go back to the beginning and show where he said in the Maccabees, where he said, I will go and get a name for myself. Because I want to show you one more time that all this war, all this history, all this holiday, all that we are suffering and had to suffer, to get us to this point was all because some filthy heathen, egotistical, puffed up mind. That's all it was for. It wasn't even for a decent cause. It wasn't that they needed land to feed themselves. It wasn't that they were starving or needed water. It wasn't for none of those reasons. It was for the reason of one greedy bastard, and I'm going to cut everybody loose. Come on with it if you can find it for me. Because where he said, I will go and get a name for myself. First Maccabees, I believe it is. Go to the verse right above it. We'll get it on.
First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 42.
Listen to this good.
3 and 14. He said, now when Sarah, a prince of the army of Syria.
He was an army of the Syrians, which were really the Edomites, who was under the Greeks. Who was family of the Greeks. Go ahead.
Heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and company of the faithful.
He heard, right. He heard that Judas had armed up with an army. And he said, oh, yeah, bet. And that's the same way it is today. They love to go after a nigga. Getting him, we got to mount up now to kill one of us. That's what he did with Judas. Read.
With him to war, he said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom. For I
you see what he said? He didn't say we need that territory. He didn't say Judas was a threat. He didn't say we need food, water, medicine. Read it again. He said what?
He said, I will get me a name and honor in the kingdom.
That's why we can't have no heathen ruling over us. That's why we can't celebrate no damn Christmas. Because we can't let a heathen rule over us, because he's going to be so puffed up, he'll kill us all for his own people and for his own selfishness, for his own ego. For his own ego, he'll kill everybody. And that's exactly what this piece of garbage did. Read on.
For I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him.
The wickedest niggas you could find went with him, and all the heathens that was in between our land and Syria. Go ahead.
And to be avenged of the children of Israel.
And he was going to take revengeance on us just to get a name for himself. Brothers and sisters, we cannot let a man like that rule over us. Damn Christmas. We're going to serve the Most High till we get in the kingdom of heaven. The water for coming out and being patient, man. Shalom. You call one? Do we need to?
Men of Israel, I might you. Go give one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I might you Shabbat. I might you. Barak.
Yahawashi, Yahawashi,
Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Yahawashi.
Hum Yashala! Hum Yashala! Hum Yashala! Hum Yashala!
Can't do it like Muhammad did.
YAHUAH, Saul, which means turn. Sisters, they stand. Men of Israel, go give one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I might you Shabbat. I might you. Barak.
Yahawashi, Yahawashi.
YAHUAH, it's good.
Hey, anybody want to get anointed? Men first, we'll anoint you up here. Haas, is Haas here?
Get right here.
Get Haas up here.
Yes, sir. God, my God.
Stay up, Q.
Get there. Circle like one more time.
Just watch the cord. You need me? Huh? Huh? One more time? Okay. So you don't want to put him over here, irreverent? Okay. Switch it up, Q. Men.
Yes, sir.
Y'all gotta get them more. It's up to y'all, whatever y'all do. No, this ain't a hot holy day.
Oh, okay.
So just anointed. Men first, men and sons first. Renew your dedication like you renew your spirit. Renew your spirit like you renew your dedication.
All right, for anybody?
Anybody wants to get anointed? What's going on, fam? Commander General YAHANNA I.S.U.P.K. Check this out. It just came out in the news that Missouri legislator is considering deputizing all Missourians to be bounty hunters so that they can round up and bring in all of the Mexicans to be deported. This is racism at its best. But we're not surprised. We're not surprised because we know racism. When we see it, we've been known. Blacks, Latino, Native Indians, y'all have gone to sleep over. We've been wide awake over. But we canceling Christmas. Let's cancel Christmas. What good is Christmas when you're deporting all the blacks and Latinos? What the heck good is Christmas if you're doing that? Instead, we're going to hold down the Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication. We're going to show you a real holiday that God promoted, that falls on the very same day this year as Christmas. Instead of Christmas, you finish with the hustle and bustle and the lie of Christmas and all those lies that they put out about Christmas and all of the BS that they've been teaching. Let's go serve a real high holy day that belongs to the Lord. Join me this December 25th at ISUPK.com. We will be celebrating the cancellation of Christmas, and instead we'll be celebrating the dedication onto the Lord. I'll tell you all about it, man. Long live our Mexican brothers. Long live them and their families. You couldn't have picked a more righteous people to deport from this country. They follow your laws. They support your families. They build their own families. They come together and work hard. They've kept your nation going. They fed you your vegetables and everything else off of camp, and yet you still hate them. The Arabs can blow up everything they want, and you still negotiate and work with them. The Russians can bomb countries into obliteration, and you still respect them. But the Mexicans, you don't never respect enough. The great Mexican people, the tribe of I.S.U.K, the royal people of the Lord. You messing with God's chosen people, right? The real chosen people of God. Hey, join me December 25th. We about to get it on. We canceling Christmas. I'll see you then. Shalom.
They're one west. 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 They're one west.